One topic that I want to talk about now is the attribution window, because this is something that we see, or where a lot of sellers have questions about how this impacts their PPC campaigns, and more specifically the rules. So the problem that Amazon PPC, but basically all advertising platforms have, is that customers don't always buy right after clicking on an ad. So in an ideal scenario, a customer clicks on an ad on Monday and will make a purchase, or a sale happens on Monday, right? So the click and the sale are on the same day. However, it could also be that a customer clicks on Monday and then makes a purchase on Thursday, and it could also be that the customer only makes the purchase on Tuesday the week after, right? So the question is, for how long is a sale still attributed to a click? So if a click happens on Monday but a sale happens on Thursday, is this sale still attributed to a click on Monday or not? And if it only happens on Tuesday the day after, again, is it still attributed to a click on Monday or not? And the solution to this problem is what is called the sales attribution, which essentially is the time frame in which a sale is attributed to a click. And on Amazon, this time frame, this attribution window, or the sales attribution, is set to 7 days by default. That means all sales that happens within 7 days after the click are still being attributed to the click on Monday, or to the click, and everything that happens after those 7 days is essentially not attributed to the click anymore. So that means in this case, the sale on Thursday would be attributed to a click on Monday. The sale on the Tuesday the week after would be outside of the attribution window and does not get attributed to the click, right? But so here, the sale is retroactively attributed to a click, and this is very important. Obviously, the sales number would change. The sales number for Monday would change only on Thursday, because it's only on Thursday that the click happens. So on Thursday evening, after the sale happened, the numbers for Monday would be changed and the sale would be attributed to the click on Monday. So why is this important for Sellics PPC rules? Well, it is very important because the data is changing during the attribution window, and this may have an effect on the rules. So let me give you an example. Let's assume that we have a PPC rule that says we want to pause keywords with clicks but no sale, right? And so let's assume that, you know, we pause a keyword if it has 20 clicks but no sales. Now let's assume that the 20th click happens on Monday. So Monday we have the 20th click and still we don't have a sale. So if we were to trigger the rule right away on Monday, the rule would actually pause the keyword because it has the 20th click, but it still hasn't generated any sale. On Tuesday, there still is no sale. So if we were to trigger the rule on Tuesday, we would still pause the keyword. Wednesday, still no sale. Again, the action would be the same. The rules would be triggered and we would pause the keyword. Now what happens on Thursday though? So on Thursday, the sale happens. So as the sale happens and the sale is being attributed to the click that happens on Monday, that means essentially on Thursday we will know that the 20th click actually led to a sale, right? So that means again that the rule would not pause the keyword because the 20th click actually led to a sale, right? So there wouldn't be a need to pause this keyword. So what's important to understand is that triggering a rule before the end of the attribution window would actually lead to wrong actions because the data is incomplete. As long as the data is still in the attribution window, the data may still change, and as the data may change, so may the action change that should be triggered from the rules. And this is very important to understand, and this is why Sellics PPC rules ignore data from all days that are still in the attribution window, and you as a user may choose the attribution window for your rules. So you can choose whether you want to have a 3-day, 5-day, or 7-day attribution. If you go here back into your rules, then essentially for each rule set here, you can choose again 3, 5, or 7 days attribution. And this means that we will ignore, and the rules at Sellics will ignore all data for the past 3, 5, or 7 days, depending on what attribution window you've decided you've chosen. So that means if we choose a 7-day attribution window, we will ignore all the last 7 days, and the rules will only look at the data that are older than 7 days. If we choose a 3-day attribution window, then we will only ignore the last 3 days and not the last 7 days. And then obviously the rules will take into account all the data that had happened before the 3 days. So obviously more data than in this example here, because we have less data we ignore if we just ignore 3 days than if we ignore 7 days. And this is very important to understand. This is the impact of the attribution window. This is also the reason why sometimes sellers, they write us and say, guys, the data has hit the threshold, but Sellics hasn't triggered any rules yet. Well, the answer is simple. The data may still change. This is why we don't trigger any rules so far.